Have you ever met someone whose words just hit different? You don't know why, but you just forget to blink. But then there are people, you try to listen. You really do, but their words never reach you. Now be honest, have you felt this your whole life? In classrooms, in meetings, at dinner tables, always talking, never heard. You said something real and nobody reacted. Then someone said it, same words, and suddenly it was genius. You smiled, nodded, but inside you were breaking. Did you lie awake at night thinking about it? That one moment someone made you feel invisible? Of course you did. And you know what's funny? The answer was always right there, sitting in front of you, for thousands of years. But you were busy, scrolling Instagram, drowning in your own regrets, too comfortable in your own disappointment. This secret has been hiding in history. But history is boring, right? Your regrets feel more comfortable. So let me be straight with you. If you actually want your words to carry weight, stay. This changes everything. But if you'd rather go back to your regrets, close the video, go to sleep. Still here? Good. Let's begin. You've tried, haven't you? Speak with confidence, they said. Make eye contact. Use a deeper voice. Be more charismatic. So you tried, and nothing changed. Maybe you bought a book. Maybe you watched videos. Maybe you stood in front of a mirror at midnight, practicing sentences nobody asked to hear. And still, the room doesn't shift when you speak. People don't lean in. Your words disappear before they even land. So you did what most people do. You made peace with it, told yourself a story. Some people are just born with it. It's charisma, it's genetics, it's personality. I'm just not one of them. And slowly, you stop trying. Comfortable with invisibility now, aren't you? Easier to accept it than to actually face it. But here's what's been sitting in your blind spot your entire life. That story you're telling yourself. You chose it. Nobody made you believe it. You picked it because it's comfortable. Because if it's genetics, you're off the hook. You don't have to change. You don't have to try. You don't have to face the fact that maybe you've been doing this completely wrong. This has nothing to do with personality, nothing to do with how loud or quiet you are. Marcus Aurelius understood exactly what creates word power, and he was the most powerful man on earth. But before we get to him, you need to understand what's actually been destroying your words your entire life. There's a room somewhere in ancient Rome. AD generals, senators, the most powerful men in the known world, all arguing, all fighting for dominance. Then one man walks in. He doesn't announce himself. He doesn't raise his voice. He sits. He listens. And when the room finally exhausts itself, he says one sentence and everything stops. Not because of his title, not because of his army, because every word he said carried the weight of a man who had actually lived them. You've felt that weight before from someone in your life. That person who speaks and something in you just quiets down. You always assumed they were born different. They weren't. This man discovered exactly why certain words carry weight and spent his entire life practicing it. He wrote everything down, privately, at night, alone. Never meant for anyone to read, but we found it. And what's inside is exactly what's been missing from every word you've ever spoken. Who was he? Stay with lesson 1. His name will mean something different to you after you understand what he knew. Lesson 1. Silence is your most powerful word. Think about the last time you were in a room, a conversation, a meeting, a dinner table, and you felt it, that panic. Nobody's noticed me yet. I need to say something, anything. So you jumped in. Words came out, unplanned, unfiltered, too fast. And the moment they left your mouth, you felt it immediately. That hollow, sinking feeling. That was too much. That was unnecessary. Why did I say that? And instead of feeling heard, you felt more invisible than before. You opened your mouth. Here's what nobody tells you. That panic, that desperate need to fill silence, is the exact thing that's been making people tune you out your entire life. Because silence isn't empty. Silence is pressure. When you hold it, people lean in, they wonder what you're thinking, they wait for you. The moment you break it unnecessarily, you release all that pressure, and they stop wondering. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present, not the next sentence, not the next silence you need to fill. This word, this moment, nothing more." As emperor, Marcus Aurelius could have filled every room with his voice. He had armies. He had absolute power. Instead, he sat, he listened, he waited, and when he finally spoke, one sentence, Rome went silent, not because he was emperor, because his words were rare, and rare things people pay attention to, still breaking every silence. Because the quiet makes you feel invisible, or are you ready to let your silence make them come to you? But holding silence means nothing. If the moment you finally speak, your emotions hijack everything, and you say exactly the wrong thing again. Lesson 2. Speak from discipline, not emotion. You know exactly what this feels like. Someone says something that cuts you, your heart races, your face gets hot, and in that moment, your mind goes completely blank. Everything you wanted to say, gone. So you either say nothing and feel weak, or you say the wrong thing and feel worse. Then you go home, and at 2 a.m., lying in the dark, it all comes back. I should have said this. Why didn't I say that? If I just said one thing differently, you replay it for hours. The perfect response. Arriving 3 hours too late. That's not stupidity. That's not weakness. That's emotion. Hijacking your words before discipline can catch them. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, faced war, faced people who wanted him destroyed, and he wrote, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, not react, not crumble, not explode, happily change," because he trained his mind before the moment arrived. So when the moment came, his words were ready, still losing at 2 a.m. What you should have won in the moment, or are you done rehearsing conversations that already ended? But here's what nobody tells you. Even if you master silence, even if you speak with discipline, people will still feel something is off because they can sense the gap. Marcus Aurelius called this the most important thing. Lesson 3. Words must match your actions. You've met this person, warm, charming. They say all the right things. I've got your back. You can always count on me, and you almost believe it. But then, in front of everyone, they say something, a small comment, a casual joke at your expense, and you smile, because what else do you do? But inside, something breaks. Not because of what they said, because of the gap between who they pretend to be in private and who they actually are when others are watching. You felt that gap. Everyone feels that gap, even when they can't name it. People don't just hear your words, they measure them against your life, every single time. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, not talk about it, not plan it, be one." He wrote about patience while managing wars and plagues simultaneously. He wrote about humility while holding absolute power over millions. No gap, ever. And that's why his words still hit different. 2,000 years later, still saying things you don't live, or are you ready to close the gap between your words and your life? But even with all of this, there's one tiny habit, almost invisible, that silently destroys everything every time you open your mouth. Lesson 4. Never seek validation. Count How many times today you said, right? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Every single time you handed your power to someone else, you think you're being humble, relatable, but what people actually hear is, please tell me my words are okay. And the moment someone senses you need their approval, your words lose all their weight because you're not speaking anymore. You're begging. You want them to agree. You want to matter. You want what you're saying to land, but needing it destroys it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never esteem anything as of advantage to you that will make you break your word or lose your self-respect." Self-respect in speech means you say what you mean. You stop. You don't apologize for it. Marcus Aurelius never asked Rome if it agreed. He spoke. He stopped. He trusted his words to do the work, still ending every sentence with right. Like you need their approval to exist, or are you ready to speak like someone who doesn't need permission to be heard? There's one final lesson, the one that ties everything together. The reason some people's words feel like they were made specifically for you, and this one nobody talks about. Lesson 5. Make people feel seen. Let me ask you something you've never been asked before. When was the last time someone truly understood you, not just heard you, not just nodded along waiting for their turn to speak, but actually felt what you were saying, knew what you meant before you finished the sentence, made you feel like, for once, you didn't have to explain yourself, you didn't have to perform, you didn't have to prove, you didn't have to fight to be understood, you could just exist, be honest. That feeling is rare for you, isn't it? Maybe it's never happened at all, and you've carried that emptiness so long, you've stopped expecting it. Now here's what will make you uncomfortable. That person whose words hit different, they give that feeling to everyone they speak to, every single person, not because they're special, not because they were born with some gift, because they made a choice. Before they speak, they actually see you, not the version of you that's performing, not the version of you that's pretending everything is fine, the real version, the one carrying things you haven't said out loud. And when they finally speak, it doesn't feel like advice. It doesn't feel like a lesson. It feels like someone reached inside and said the exact thing you needed before you even knew you needed it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together." He saw people fully, without judgment, without agenda, and that seeing, that's what made his words feel like they were written specifically for you. 2,000 years before you were born, you've spent your whole life waiting to feel seen, still waiting for someone to understand you first. Or are you ready to become the rarest person in any room, the one who truly sees others, before anyone ever sees you? Now you know the lessons. You know what silence actually does to a room. You know what happens when emotion hijacks your words. At 2 a.m., you know that hollow feeling, when someone exposes the gap between what you say and who you are. You know the quiet desperation of ending every sentence with right. And you know that emptiness of speaking your whole life and never once feeling truly seen. That man in Rome knew all of this, not from books, from living it. His name was Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, Stoic philosopher, the most powerful man in the world. And at night, when the empire was quiet, he sat alone and wrote everything down, not for followers, not for fame, just to become better. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason, which today arm you against the present, always preparing, always sharpening." That private journal, Meditations, the one he never meant for anyone to read, has been sitting in front of humanity for 2,000 years. You've been scrolling past the answer your entire life, still comfortable being the person whose words disappear. Or are you finally ready to become the person the room remembers? You were hoping for a trick, a phrase, a technique, something you could use tomorrow, and suddenly people listen, people lean in, people remember your words. Convenient, right? Because a trick means you stay exactly who you are. Same habits, same patterns, same invisible self, just with better packaging. There is no trick, and deep down, you already knew that. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What he left behind isn't a formula. It's a practice, silence, every single day. Discipline, every single conversation. Alignment, every single decision. Trust, every time you resist begging for approval. Presence, every time you choose to truly see someone before you speak. None of this is complicated. All of it is uncomfortable. And that's exactly why most people never do it. They watch videos like this one. They feel inspired for exactly 4 minutes. Then they go back to scrolling, back to their regrets, back to being the person whose words disappear the moment they leave their mouth. The people whose words carry weight. They're not special. They're just consistent every single day. While everyone else was watching videos and feeling inspired, they were doing the work. The question is, which one are you going to be? Still watching or finally doing? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Somewhere right now, someone is saying your words and getting your credit. You just watched this entire video, learned everything, and now you're going to close this tab. Go back to scrolling. Tomorrow, same room, same words. Nobody listens. Prove me wrong. Drop a comment, one word. Tell me which lesson hit you or don't. Go back to being invisible. Your choice. And if you're actually serious, subscribe. Because the next video, most of you won't be able to handle it. Are you one of the few who will?